Happy Frugal Friday! Let's see, I have 3 different things here. Money saving hacks, budget and savings, or old-fashioned frugal tips. Let's go with the old-fashioned frugal tips. And then we'll do the other ones, some other Frugal Fridays. Alrighty, I'm old-fashioned, so let's go with these. Cook at home. Yes, the more you eat out, the more money you waste. I mean, you can, like tea, for instance, this is just a really, I can make a whole pitcher of tea for probably 50 cents, maybe $1, closer to 50 cents, I think. And, because yeah, 100 tea bags is $2. And if I make a big, like 2-quart pitcher, I probably use 4 tea bags. So that's what, 10 cents maybe? And lately, when I've been going to the store, or not stores, or restaurants, just to get in a glass of iced tea is like $4 or $5. It's crazy. And that doesn't even count how much food is. Food's like crazy. So the more you can cook at home, the better. And cook from scratch, you know, don't get those convenience like pre-cooked rice or whatever, you know, those little bags of pre-cooked rice that are like $5, and you can buy like a giant bag of rice for, you could probably buy a 10-pound bag of rice for like $4 or $5. That'll last you like months and months, and $4 or $5 is probably what those little pre-cooked bags of rice are. Stuff like that, it makes a huge difference. It says use simple recipes. I'm not a simple recipe kind of gal. I mean, I don't like the ones with 50 ingredients, but I don't like the 3 ingredient ones either. I like something sort of in the middle. It says wear an apron when you cook and clean. I do that sometimes, and it does save your clothes. You don't have to wash them as often, and you know, you don't get all like spill bleach on yourself when you're cleaning or whatever, so that can make a difference in just the wear and tear of your clothes. Drink water, milk, coffee, and tea. I don't drink coffee, I don't drink milk, I drink a lot of tea, and I just really don't like water unless I put some flavoring in it. So that's not free like water is, but you know, if I drink water with a little flavoring in it, that's still pretty cheap. It's a lot cheaper than drinking sodas and juice and stuff. Make your coffee at home. Well, I make my tea. I was going and getting those Starbucks chai tea latte things, and I just started making my own with, I found some, like lately I did a taste test Tuesday on it. In fact, I found some butter pecan creamer that's yummy, and I just pour some of that in some of those cheap tea bags I bought, and a little bit of Sweet and Low, and tastes just as good as Starbucks, and cost less than $1 to make, I'm sure. Well, less than $1, maybe 50 to 75 cents to make, as opposed to what's a grande thing now at Starbucks, $8, something crazy like that. Learn basic baking skills, and they have YouTube classes you can do that. I can bake pretty much everything, except I'm not very good. I used to be, and somehow I've lost it. I'm just not very good at making yeast breads anymore. I used to make them, but I had this great recipe for this yeast bread that tasted like sourdough bread, and you just made it in your mixer. You didn't have to knead it. But somewhere along the way when I got flooded out, I lost that recipe and never had found one like it. It says use old jars and containers. I do that some, you know, instead of buying a bunch of Tupperware and stuff, I save leftover spaghetti jars. There's some of the spaghetti jars have twist-on lids, and those are good for saving to store stuff in. And Cool Whip containers, butter containers, stuff like that. Our grandmas used to always, I mean, you go look at something in the refrigerator and you had no clue what was really in it because it would be in an empty butter container and it'd have mac and cheese in it or something. You just never knew what was in those without opening the lids. Buy in bulk when it makes sense. Well, now that I live alone, buying bulk doesn't really make a lot of sense. I mean, there's a few things I'll buy, like I'll buy a big old bag of rice because that'll last forever. Buy a case of flavored water because, as we just established, I don't like plain water. But I don't buy a lot in bulk just because I live by myself. But when I live with the kids, I would buy in bulk. Start a garden of herbs, veggies, and flowers. No, that ain't happening. I hate to garden. When I was a kid, one of the ways I was punished was having to go out and pull weeds, and it turned me off to gardening. So, like one of my friends she just bought all the stuff. She's gonna make a microgreens garden in the house. I think you do it in the house in your windowsill or whatever, but you know, it's like herbs and microgreens and stuff like that. And I just know me, I'd kill it. So DIY home projects. I'm not very good at stuff like my thing that holds my toilet paper. It's like this hook looking thing, and it fell off the wall. And my son says, "Oh, just use an Allen wrench and it'll screw it back on." Well, I don't have an Allen wrench, so I've tried a paper clip and a hair bobby pin. So I might have to break down and buy an Allen wrench to fix that. But I did fix my toilet seat was loose, and I did fix that. So I can occasionally do little projects, but I'm not good at any kind of, like, I've been forbidden to put furniture together because the last time I did, I had a bookcase that kind of listed like this. I'm terrible at stuff like that. So my son's like, just don't do it. Be willing to buy off brands. I do that. There's some things I actually like better that it's the generic brand. Like, for instance, Walmart has those little hash brown patties that look like the kind you get at McDonald's. And they're the best ones I've had were the generic Walmart ones. I've had them from other, like, Ida or, you know, name brand ones. And they're not as good as the cheapy Walmart ones. So some stuff is, and a lot of things, if you look at the packaging really carefully, you can tell it was made in the same exact factory. The same exact stuff is inside it. It's just got a different name on the package. So it's the same exact thing you're paying more money for. So just buy the generics. And admittedly, some generic stuff is not worth buying. It's just like laundry detergent, for instance. Cheap laundry detergent, it's just not any good. Learn to mend and do basic sewing. That's another thing that I was traumatized as a young child. When I was in, must have been 8th grade, we had to take, because we were girls, we had to take a home ec, and you had one semester of cooking, which I loved because I like to cook, and then one semester of sewing. And you know, the kids I talk to nowadays that take that kind of stuff, they make something like pajama pants or an apron or something real simple like that. We made our 8th grade graduation dresses. And I made a sheath dress that had, if you're a sewer, you'll know this is a pain in the butt, had the facing for the neck and the arms was all one piece. That was way too hard for a beginning sewer, A, to make a dress, and B, to have that facing. And it turned me off to sewing because I must have ripped that thing out 50 times, and many tears were involved in trying to make that stupid dress. And it had the opposite effect of what their intention was. I mean, if it would have been something simple, I might have stuck with it and wanted to learn more, but as it was, it turned me off. Well, I've never sewed since, if I can possibly help it. When I got flooded out, when I lived in Sacramento many years ago, like 30 years ago, my sewing machine that I had was ruined in the flood, and I've just never replaced it. I've never had a sewing machine since. I'll either, if it's important to me, I'll get somebody else to sew it for me, or just throw it away or give it away, or if it's something simple, I'll hand sew like a little hole or something, but I don't have a sewing machine. Don't intend to ever have a sewing machine. So that one's definitely not gonna do one. Dry clothes outside in nice weather. When I lived with my daughter-in-law and son and grandkids when they were little, the dryer broke and it was nice weather, so we had our son string us up some line, and it was like probably a week or two before they managed to get a dryer, and so that's what we did. We hung the clothes out to dry, and it was kind of fun, but I wouldn't want to do it on a permanent basis. And I don't really, got a lot of trees, and I think the leaves would fall on it and stuff, and I don't think it would work very well in my yard. But their yard didn't have hardly any trees, so it worked when I lived with them. Okay, easy for me to say, declutter. What decluttering helps with is knowing what you actually have. I mean, you may not get rid of stuff, but if you at least sort through things, you realize, oh, I don't need to buy that. I already have it somewhere, you know, hiding away that you didn't even realize you still had that. Swap or barter. Yeah. You know, if somebody, you can do something like you could cook a meal for somebody and they could come over and repair your door or stuff like that. Or I have had friends that they got together and had a clothing swap. They made sure they had at least 2 people that were the same size, and there's maybe 6 of them, like 2 size 12s, 2 size 20s, 2 size 14s, whatever. And they would, it works better if you're all the same size, but that's a little harder to do. But at least you have 2 that are the same size. You can, like, I'm tired of this, it doesn't look good on me anymore, whatever, and you just, or I don't need dress clothes anymore because I don't go to work anymore, so you could get some brand new stuff to you, and they could get brand new stuff to them, even though it's not new. Then there's also a website that I use a lot. It's called Freebie Alerts, and it looks at all the other websites like Facebook Marketplace and the neighborhood ones. And it looks at anything that's got the word free, and it sends you a message. It sends you an alert. So, because people give away free stuff, I mean, food sometimes, appliances, clothes, toys, books, you name it. Like, I got my couch free. I got, it's like, what is it? 8 cubic feet freezer that I've got out in my garage. I got that for free. I've gotten lots of stuff for free from this website. And there's other things if I had access to a truck, because you got to jump on it right away to get it a lot of times. Like, there's a couple times I really wished I had a truck, because like I've been wanting an exercise bike, and I've seen those several times, just free, people giving them away. But I didn't have a way of getting them. I don't know, maybe sometime I'll see if my friend whose husband has a truck and he works from home, whether we could run over and grab an exercise bike. Next time one comes up, I'll see if they're home and they can help me out. But you know, I don't know if they have it just here or if it's a nationwide thing, but it wouldn't hurt to look. It's FREEBIE and then alerts, ALERTS, and it's like an app. Let's see. Buy secondhand clothing, like on ThredUp, you can get secondhand clothing. Thrift stores. I haven't had a lot of luck with thrift stores because they don't often have plus sizes, which is weird to me because there's a lot of us plus size people out there. when you're buying clothes, furniture, stuff like that, it says invest in quality pieces. If you go with the trendy, like I used to have a blue and white flowered couch. Well, it wasn't a couch, it was one of those, like, call them fat chairs, was a chair and a half. And that's not gonna, I mean, it might have been made well, but because of the look of it, it's not gonna stand the test of time. If you buy something that's like the dining room table I have now, was given to me. It's somebody's grandmother's, and they didn't have a place for it, so they passed it down to me. So that has stood this test of time. It's one of those Duncan 5 tables where the 2 sides fold down, or you can fold it out and add, I think I've got 2 extensions I can put in it. And it's made out of solid, good wood, and it's at least probably close to 100 years old. And it's still chugging right along. So something like that, you know, it might cost you a little more in the beginning, but you're not going to have to replace it every few years because you bought something junky. Same with a bed, you know. Get the best bed you can afford, because A, it's better for your health if you've got something comfortable to sleep on, and B, you get some cheap mattress, you're just going to turn around, and beds are expensive, and even if you go for a cheap one, in the long run, it's not going to be that cheap because you're going to be replacing it in a couple years. Okay, last one. Focus on the gain, not the gap. So I think what they mean by that is, don't look at what you're lacking, look at what you can do to gain and narrow that gap. Like something I started doing, because you know my finances are squeaky. I haven't had a savings in a while because I canceled it when the bank started charging me every month for it, and I just, you know, I'd put money in it and have it be gone with the fees, and so I'm like, well, forget that. So I haven't had a savings in a few years. I do have it on an online bank that I have money that I try not to touch, but as far as a day-to-day savings account, I haven't had one in a while. And then I went poking around on my bank's website, and they have one now that as long as you transfer from your checking into your savings minimum of $25 a month, then it's free. So I thought, well, that's kind of has twofold. It gives me like a little cushion where once I build up some money into it, I can tie it to my checking account, and then if my check overdrafts, they'll take it out of the savings, tie those two together. There's not anything in it at the moment, so I can't do that yet. And if I do, I'm doing this $25 a month to save the fee, but it's also $25 a month, that's $300 a year. Even if I don't add anything else to it, that's pretty effortlessly saved $300 a year. And if you do want to set a goal for saving money, pay yourself first. Like I get my Social Security, which is I only get paid the one time a month for my Social Security, and it's mid-month, it's like the second Wednesday. So I set this bank thing up to transfer the $25 on the 25th. So it's coming out right off the top. And you know, if something happens and I need that money back, I can always get it back. But if it's sort of like out of sight, out of mind. The same with my tithe for church. That comes out on the 15th, goes directly to the church. I never see it, so I never miss it. So if you do those kind of things right off the get-go, you don't really miss it because you've never had it. So those are some things our parents and grandparents and old people like me used to do, and maybe we should bring some of those back. So there are your Frugal Friday tips for this week. I hope you enjoyed them. I didn't do much on my birthday. but I'm going out to dinner with my son and daughter-in-law and grandkids on Sunday afternoon. Tomorrow is Saturday, and I'm going to a craft fair with a friend, so I'll try and take you with me to the craft fair. We can see what kind of crafts are selling out there now. So hopefully I can do that without it being too hard, because if it's really loud and crowded, it's kind of hard to do. But we'll see if I can at least film a few little clips of the craft fair for you and do a little visit the craft fair with me video tomorrow. So this is coming out the very end of the day because I had game day with my friends, and then another friend stayed and we watched a Christmas movie. Then I had to go pick up a prescription. So here it is, 5:30, and I'm just now getting this video up. So I will love you all and see you all soon. And oh, by the way, we are 1 away from 800. When we hit that 800 subscriber, and we'll let it marinate for a week or two to make sure it sticks, then we'll do a giveaway. And I've got a basket full of stuff, that anything I get that I don't want, can't use, think you'd like better. But one thing I'm going to do is I bought a black, I don't know if it's leather or pleather or whatever. I bought a black purse from Temu because I forgot that I have a black purse I really like. So I bought this one from Temu, and then I found my winter black purse that I really like. So I'm going to use the one I really like, and in my giveaway, I'm going to give away the black purse with stuff in it. So it's going to be, the black purse is going to be the main part of it, but it's going to have goodies in it too. So that's what the 800 subscriber giveaway is going to be, is a black, maybe leather purse. I don't know if it's real leather, with some goodies in it. Alrighty, that's it for today. I hope you have a wonderful weekend coming up. Our weather's gone from it went from 40s to 80s. Now it's back down to low 50s, 40s. Texas weather goes like this. I mean, here it is November, and we had a few days in the 80s, and now we're back down to, it's going to be 39 tonight, I think. You never know in Texas. All right, love y'all. Talk to you soon. Hope you enjoyed this. Bye-bye.